Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another setting with me. I'm your host, Annie Kwache. I do hope everyone, wherever you are, you're enjoying your weekend. And yes, I'll urge you all to come around, listen to the video, and I hope that it helps you in whatever application that you're doing towards acquiring your South African visa. So, today, in terms of content, I'll be dealing mostly with foreign nationals who are trying to come into South Africa. And also, I hope that it will also be impactful to foreign nationals who are in South Africa compiling their documentation for renewals and for applications. The reason why I'm focusing on document gathering because it seems to be the very first stage. Well, besides research, besides setting your goals and understanding why you want to travel to another country from the country of origin that you're based. So I thought it was a good idea to focus on that. Before you travel, you'd have set your vision in terms of why am I going there? Am I going to study? Am I going to visit? Am I going as a holiday maker? But the most important point is your document gathering. For most of us, the countries that we're located in, we will either be using the consular services, there's a high commission offices by submitting a documents there, or the visa facilitation centers that have been set across in many countries in the world. So, most of the countries, or I'll say some of the countries that I'm aware of, the collection centers, the tellers there, or those who do collect your applications, may trigger or bring your attention to the fact that there are certain documents that are missing and hence give you the opportunity to go back and include those documents before your submission. Sometimes you may not be lucky enough, and so you would miss out on taking the right documentation. Yes. So, in the content gathering stage, which I call the most important stage, the content gathering stage is the most important stage, or your documents gathering stage is the most important stage. Why? Because if you don't gather the best of documentation, and if you're not lucky enough to meet a teller or the interested official collecting your document to advise you to go and include the outstanding documents, then you run the risk of receiving a rejection letter, which ordinarily or otherwise would not or should not have been. It sets you back because then you have to appeal and go and look for documents within the shortest possible time. If you've never done a South African application before, then you're in for a shocker because you only have 10 days to gather your documents and to bring in the appeal application. And that is a task that you don't want to go through. Even most people who have almost all the documents, 10 days sometimes is not enough, especially where a particular document is not within your purview or you need to go to collect from a different office. So please, this is just to let you know that it is important that we take into consideration which documents that we're going to include during the documents gathering stages. Their requirements, read what the requirement says even prior to the start of your application so that you are aware that those that may take time, I need to have acquired it even before the time comes for me to do the application or the submission. Give yourself enough time. Do not rush through the process. Like any other, a rushed process may not guarantee you the necessary successful outcome as you may be deserving of. So, document gathering stage is a very important stage. For most of you, the type or the number of documents, or let's say the type of documents that you're going to be including, they're the general ones and they're the ones that are the extra ones based on the category you're applying for. To my people who have not been abreast with the current law for spouses and children living abroad, if you want to join your spouse in South Africa, or if you want to join your biological mother or father, or a father or mother who has adopted you, and they can prove that there's an adopted court order, you can't come into the country with your normal visitor's visa. When you are coming, you need to include then the police clearance from your country of origin or any country that you have stayed prior to turning 18. Most of the time, for in Ghana, for example, up until you have turned 18, you cannot be issued with a police clearance report. So you can then travel without your police clearance report. Your yellow fever is a must. And currently with COVID, you must bring your document to prove, or your certificate to prove that you have actually had your COVID jabs or your vaccination done. And if you can include that, that is a plus. Say if you can even bring a report from a doctor, but those are not really important documents because they're medical certificates and radiology certificates that a doctor can complete here after accessing you thoroughly. So this is basically like I'm saying, your document gathering stage is a very important stage. You need to treat it well and treat it with caution. Do not include any fraudulent documents. Do not let any agents or anybody who is assisting you with your documents to include a document that you cannot vouch for or stand by. Whether it's a bank statement from your sponsor, whether it's a document from somebody here. There are some documents that some of you assume that it's a power of attorney that I can give for anybody to sign a particular document. No. If you must sign the document, you must sign the document. And then send the document wherever it has to be sent to be included in your application. For example, if you are with your spouse or your life partner, let me use the life partner, and you are apart at that moment where you're bringing the application, and there's a particular document that both signatures must be on, do not just allow any proxy to sign that particular document. The document must be signed by yourself. You can even include an affidavit confirming, depose to an affidavit confirming that you have signed the document yourself. So, all documents that you include, most of the time you see that there is a place where you sign confirming that you signed, and then you are aware and you take responsibility for all the documents that you're submitting. Because it may get to a point where you didn't sign it, but then how do you escape liability? Where you have made a pronouncement on the documentation that you did sign the document yourself. So, our documents gathering stage is very, very important, and particularly it may go for other countries as well. But I'm speaking to foreign nationals who are developing their documentation or trying to submit their documentation to the VFS centers or the consulates or the missions abroad in order to get visas into South Africa. Of course, every other country, there's no country whose immigration would want anybody to come in with fraudulent documentation. It wouldn't happen anywhere. But because I'm speaking from the point of view where I am trained to understand the immigration laws of South Africa. That is why I'm speaking from the point or from the point view of South African visa application processes. So if you're in Ghana, for instance, and you're putting your documentation together, seek professional assistance. Sometimes you may have come here on different occasions, visiting as a tourist and all that. But at every point in time, the laws change. And who better to know of the new or the recent changes than a lawyer who is currently practicing, or an immigration or a professional who is currently practicing in the country? So at every point in time, don't just go in for an agent who's clueless. Go in for somebody who is abreast and who knows the procedures that the application should entail. Do not also take advice from anyone. And also, do not go to a professional with that whole preconceived notion of, I need A. It's like going to a doctor and telling the doctor, give me this particular injection. No doctor will do that. And so go there with an open mind. And that is why we have consultation as the first process with any professional. You must consult. The consultation will then allow the professional or the lawyer or the immigration practitioner to understand your situation better and to guide you through the process or through the particular documents that you need. I consult with people and they'll tell me, I need to apply for this document. What should I do? At the end of the consultation, when I do insist and when we do have one, you realize the documentation that they initially requested is not entirely or exactly what they needed. So go to the professional with an open mind to go and ask and find out and seek the answers you need than to impose that I do need this, so help me get this. Because at the end of the day, you may get a document, you may be going in for a document that it's not the best of documents for you. So this evening, I'd say that once you view or you watch this video and you still have more information or more questions to ask, you can always go to my Facebook page, which is the Immigration and Visa South Africa page on Facebook. You can also find me on my own personal handle on Facebook, Anikwachi. You can yes, and I think I should be able to assist you. Once you join, you send me a DM, you send me messages through, I will be able to pick up and I should be able to assist you. So from whichever country that you may be viewing this video from, I wish you well in the application that you intend to bring. If you're coming in as a tourist, put your application together. If you're coming in as a student, likewise do the same. If you are coming in to visit or to be with your spouse. But take note, the recent development in terms of the law, which happens to do with spouses and children of the immediate family, you can join in with your visitor's visa. And then from within the Republic, you can bring an application to change. Just make sure that you bring copies of your marriage certificate or any gazette or any court orders that you may have, and your police clearance reports from your home country or any country that you've stayed prior to attaining the age of 18. Since it's a weekend, I'm just going to end it here and say thank you once again, my audience, for listening to me. It's your host, Anikwachi. And next time, and yeah, I think next time I'm still going to come back and then bring you more feedback and we'll have a chat again. Thank you. Bye.